International. Now, this one is an interesting play because you've got a slew of order wins coming through. Now, they've done financial year to date, if I recall right, 14,000 crore of orders is what they've won. Now, that's extremely strong for a company of that size. Some of these names standing out for you, and what within infra stands out for you? Anything interesting?
Yeah, hi, good morning. Thanks for having me. I think on KEC International, the company has guided for 28 to 30,000 odd crore kind of order inflow this year, and they achieved nearly 50% of it. I think we like the entire T&D as a space, both this company as well as Kalpataru as well. Overall sense is that while power generation is obviously takes the center stage, but on the transmission and distribution side, we see a lot of positiveness coming in because of the execution which we would expect to sort of happen. So KEC International is at the forefront. Along with that, we would expect margin expansion also to happen over the next 1 or 2 years. So we like this company, and I think order wins are step in the right direction in terms of achieving that trajectory.
Okay. Let me come to you, Kunal, with regard to a technical view on KEC International in particular.
Altogether, what did you make of the numbers, and do you think HCL Technologies can finally perhaps lift off spirit on the IT pack?
So Aisha, on the numbers, the broad-based numbers are quite encouraging for HCL Tech. AI monetization is also happening, but that is 3% of the revenues currently. And I think the only challenge for HCL Tech is that it is commanding valuation similar to Infosys and TCS. TCS we have come up with a buy largely because of the pivot towards a data center. I think HCL Tech, probably the numbers need to sort of improve more, and also the valuation gap, like I highlighted, needs to sort of be there for it to become a buy. So lastly, our sense is that while the numbers are good, but the macro environment continues to sort of remain challenging for most of the IT companies. And till the time this AI-related booming stocks do not sort of fizzle out, I wouldn't expect Indian IT to sort of do much from a price performance perspective, though valuation-wise, most of the stocks are at the historical lower end of the range of, say, 4 years. So good numbers, but valuation upside is limited.
Right, okay, that's that on technology and what it can do. And Kunal, you also have been making the point that perhaps IT as a pack is building a base, right?
Yeah, it's building a base, and we always say that good prices and good news will never come together. When prices have baked in the kind of negative news flow, it's bound to be that once the news flow gets into a realization phase, that then sentiment will still remain negative for IT stocks. But then the prices are recovering. You look at TCS, I think the stock made a base which is around sub 2,900 mark. HCL Tech is up, I think, 10% or 120 rupees from the previous swing lows. Infosys has also managed to see a good base. The stock has seen a very good addition in terms of open interest. Now, that generally happens when there is an expectation that maybe the worst could be baked into the prices. And I actually believe that that's what's happening for the entire IT names, and specifically for the large cap stocks. And there was a point where I think 2024 and good part of 2025 that the large cap IT stocks were huge underperformers with respect to mid cap IT names. I think now that trade could be reversing, and we could now be at a point where, say, from here to the next 6 months, 1 year or so, the large cap IT stocks should be strong outperformers.
Kunal, there's a Tech and Mahindra earnings today. How do you play that in terms of positions? Do you think that there is enough upside for Tech Mahindra also?
So on the relative strength, like we compare Infi, TCS, HCL Tech and Tech Mahindra is the least performer, or the most underperformer out of the top 4-5 names from the large cap IT stocks in this leg of rally. So for example, HCL Tech rallied up 120 points from the previous 7-8 days of consecutive price uptrend, which means that the expectation was that the result could be positive or maybe above expectations. Tech Mahindra goes into the results with a lot of muted expectations. So I think in that sense, I would probably believe that it may not be a good trade.
I want to talk about the big buzzer from yesterday though, Kunal. KFin Tech, almost a 7% surge, right? And we were talking about it this afternoon. You think momentum will still continue?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I think this is a very strong breakout. So the stocks require...
You expect a very similar kind of a setup today, but mind you, of course, yesterday's setup was very different because global markets were feeling some bit of pressure on the back of the Trump-China comments. Today, of course, a resolution at play. Are you expecting a breakout? Are you seeing range-bound day of trade? How are you seeing it?
Morning, Harsh. Thanks for the show. My sense is markets will remain more or less range-bound for today being the expiry session. So that is predominantly the reason why I believe markets could remain range-bound. 25,300, 25,350 on the upside will act as a hurdle. On the downside, 25,200 will continue to act as a support. But eventually, my sense is by the time you head to more a trading session, I've been saying 25,600, 700 something that I'm looking on the Nifty, and Bank Nifty somewhere around 57,100, about 57,500. Both the indices, I believe, will inch higher in the coming trading sessions. Today, the first half could be range-bound. Second half, you could see a bit of volatility. So I'm looking at this tight range between 25,350 on the upside, about 25,200 to about 150 on the downside, at least for today. And maybe from next trading session onwards, you could see an upward movement in the Nifty. Overall, there is strength in the markets, both the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. They're showing enormous strength, and you will eventually see a breakout on the Nifty from that downward sloping trend line.
Quickly, Aditya, how quickly would that breakout come?
This week itself, Harsh, my sense is in a day or two, you will see that breakout above 25,400, which is the downward sloping trend line.
Okay. And Aditya, would you have any stock-specific ideas for our viewers?
Morning, Aisha. Yes, I've got a couple of buy recommendations. The first one is Adani Ports. Stock looks very interesting. After a good consolidation, stock has eventually broken out from that consolidation zone. So for a target of 15.10 and a stop loss of 13.95, I'll recommend a buy on Adani Ports. The second stock is Shola Finance. Again, all the NBFC stocks are looking extremely bullish, and Shola Finance has been going strength to strength, a fresh breakout here as well. So for a target of 1750 on the upside and a stop loss at 1595 on the downside, I've got a buy on Chola Finance as well.
Right. Okay, let's talk about stocks, and we've been flagging off that Tata Motors' long-awaited demerger is going to take effect today, splitting its passenger vehicle and commercial vehicle businesses into separate entities. In fact, the PV arm will begin trading after a special price discovery session today itself, while the CV unit will list in 30 to 45 days. The move aims to unlock value and give each business a sharper strategic focus. Shrishti is here from our research desk to try and explain how the methodology is going to actually work out.
Well, yes, long-awaited Tata Motors demerger will take effect today. There's going to be a special trading session as well till 10 a.m. and the PV business will start trading today, which will include the India PV business as well as their JLR division, while the CV, the other entity, will get listed in another 30 to 45 days. So the price discovery and a special pre-session today will be held on NSE and BSE till 10 a.m. today. So all eyes will be on that. But let's tell you, what does it really mean? So this special trading session, the call auction will find the PV's opening price, that will be the fair value, and the CV discovered price as well. And once discovered, the PV stock price will trade normally throughout the day till temporary, under a temporary symbol. Now the CV business will get listed in another 45 days, but Nifty will temporarily have almost 51 shares till the time that CV get listed, and the passives and the ETFs really adjust their weightages and their fund allocation between the two entities. And going ahead, once the CV is listed, once again the rebalancing and the methodology will be in play, that which entity will be in the Nifty 50 list. But along with that, with respect to the fair value and the price discovery for both the entities, let's tell you what's the expectation on that front. So for today, you will only get to see that the PV will remain listed while the markets will try to find the value of their CV business. The analysts are expecting, if we take these three brokerages from Nuvama to Elara to Jefferies, that's indicating a range of 280 to 330 rupees for their CV arm. So all in all, from Tata Motors, you can assume that this much of a value will get chopped off, because Tata Motors CV business will get dormant and will not be allowed to trade. But in this, if we also get you the listing scenarios, assuming the average of these three brokerages to be 316 rupees, these are some of the scenarios which the market will try to give the kind of value to the CV business, because yes, of course, that's a stable business. The industry is expected to grow at CAGR of almost 3 to 4%, and even with respect to the recent acquisitions in the next couple of years, that is expected to bode well for the company. So with the bear case to a bull case scenario, with an average of 316 rupees, from 285 to 350 rupees is the most optimism regarding this CV discovered price. So all eyes on Tata Motors, and after with respect to the special trading session, let's see how the CV business get actually valued. Back to you.
Thank you so much for that, Srishti. Pankaj, you have a view with regard to Tata Motors. Of course, the effective date was yesterday if you wanted to buy and be eligible for this demerger. But would you at all buy the PV business currently, because that's the only one which you can now participate in?
So sum total, our sense is that there should be value creation, because what we're expecting for CV business is 11 times EV by bit on a FY27 basis. So that comes about 300 odd rupees, because comparable peers are also getting similar multiples. On the PV side, our sense is that stock should trade somewhere in the range of 450 to 500. That is the fair value we see. So since it's a sort of a vertical split and it is one of the most anticipated demerger, our sense is that sum total there should be some value creation, because both PV and CV business are offering different growth trajectories. So we are expecting 300 rupees for CV business and 450 to 500 for the PV side.
I want to talk about, Pankaj, also LG, which is going to be listing today. While, of course, at least going by the grey market premium, it seems like it's going to be a listing pop, and not everyone got the allocation in any case. The point is, how much would you be willing to pay for an LG? I mean, would it be a 1,500 fair value? Would it be higher than that? Because brokerages are already out with price targets of 1,750, 1,800 thereabouts.
So difficult to say at this point in time, given the fact we still don't know what the value will come by. But the IPO was quite reasonably priced at 37 times trailing 12 months. And I think for a long period of time, we did not had a sector leader. Now the sector leader is getting listed, and it has got impressive market share across most of the major categories. So I think valuation premium is something this company is definitely going to command. We still need to sort of figure out what would that be. So I'm still not sure of what valuation we would want to give. Let's see, post-listing, we'll have to take that call.
Okay. Okay. Kunal, if I can ask you, some of the AMC stocks really moved yesterday. What can we expect from them today? And we'll obviously ask a fundamental view from Pankaj as well, because Canada Robeco is the one which is likely moving or having an impact on some of these AMC counters. But from a technical perspective, give us a sense.
So I think all these stocks have done well.